William Hutchison, Armenia Colombia Realty for Expats, and Salento Colombia Realty. Own them both along with my wife. I live in Armenia, Colombia, and today I want to talk to you about a couple of things that came up this week that I think are in some ways typical of what can happen here in Colombia. First of all, I want to tell you that there's three things that I really believe that you shouldn't mess with when you come here. And that's visa, health insurance, and your real estate needs, whether it be rental or a buy. Mistakes in those three things can cost you money. You can go ahead and proceed on your own, but I'm finding with a lot of expats, or maybe I shouldn't say a lot, but with expats, that a number of them come here, perhaps think they're smarter than everybody else, but have no idea of what the system is like here. There's a lot of mistrust, there's a lot of dishonesty, there's a lot of corruption, things that we as expats aren't used to, and it takes some time to kind of roll with that system. So my recommendation for those three things is to pay a little bit of money, use the people that know what's going on, and you won't have the issues. There's two here that I believe could have been avoided if they had used a competent attorney. They both have to do with visas. The first one, not a client of ours, I've only heard of it from a client who is the brother, needs a document, can't get it here, needs to be sent from Canada. For whatever reason, I'm not even sure that the brother knows the complete reason, but now he's likely going to have to fly back to Canada to get it. And very expensive. I mean, a return trip ticket from here to Canada, probably $1,000. And then additional expenses while he's in Canada. The second one is a client of ours that is using an attorney. We think, we don't know if he's an attorney or not. The one thing about the visa system here that I should tell you about is there's a lot of people who have never had one day of law training that are promoting themselves as people that can get a visa for you. A lot of them are probably competent because they've been doing it for years. And you don't need a law degree to get a visa. But I think it's just one extra step that you should consider because you don't know what kind of quality you're getting with a lawyer either. But one of the big things here that you should be looking at is language. And if you're using a Spanish speaker and you aren't fluent in Spanish, I think you're asking for problems. The problem with this second one was the insurance form that was sent in with the visa had the working box checked. In other words, the insurance company said that the applicant was working in Colombia. The applicant was renewing a pension visa, a retirement visa, and on that visa you can't work. So the application was rejected. We have a new form for him coming on Monday. Alba got involved with Sura and got the insurance form for Monday, but now the question is, will immigration accept that form? Will they accept the change? Because there's funny stuff goes on here, and they may suspect that he went to Sura, got a new form, maybe even paid someone under the table for them to check the not working box. So those two things are going to cost additional money. Our recommendation is that you use our visa attorney, fluent in English, very efficient. That's all she does all day long is visas. Her firm that she owns, she has other lawyers do real estate. But the thing that she deals with all day, every day, are visas. Now, I'm not saying that she wouldn't have missed the box as well, but I've referred dozens of clients to her, and we've never had that type of an issue show its head. So, fluent English, efficient, the cost is virtually the same. You get someone that's qualified and, shall I say it, an expert in visas. The other reason that I brought her on board as part of our team is because she has connections in Bogota. She worked for Congress for a number of years, so knows the people to call if there's a snag. And as you can imagine, in Colombia, it's no different than a lot of other countries. It's who you know. And if you can get to the right person that can help you out, her chances are a heck of a lot better than a lot of other people that are here. Now, I said visas, health insurance, and real estate. Obviously, you pay for the visa help. You pay for the health insurance help. No one works for nothing, and Alba doesn't either. But all of the real estate information is free. As I've said in other videos, the owner of either a rental or a sale pays any commissions that are due to me. Let me tell you just a quick story about real estate and how things kind of work here. About 6 or 7 months ago, a gentleman made a comment on Facebook. There was someone talked about mortgages, how expats can't get them. The truth is that really only 3% of the people in Colombia have a mortgage. They all have to pay cash for their homes because the banks don't lend. But somehow he had gotten the approval, and as I remember, it was backed up by a Colombian cosigner and so on. He came out with the statement that he was getting a mortgage at 2%. I have 20 years in Canadian finance, and I know when the central bank rate is over 13%, nobody, except maybe the chief executive officer of the bank, is borrowing at 2%. So I made a comment that he needs to go back and find out, ask the loan officer to continue the sentence, because what he needs to do is say, your rate is 2%, a something. And he did go back. I know here that they quote monthly. They don't give you an annual rate, they give you a monthly rate. This guy had his mortgage approved, but it was 2% a month. They were grabbing him for a mortgage at 24%. Not unusual here. The banks will charge whatever they think they can get. It turned out he thanked me and walked away from the deal. But that's just one example of a different system and where it can cost you money. Don't come here thinking that you're smarter than everybody else, because you're going to pay. You can do all of these things by yourself. Some people have gotten through it all and done fine. But for the very little that it's going to cost you to have people that know what they're doing kind of hold you by the hand and get the things that you need to be able to live here, I think it's money well spent. Just my opinion. You may think differently, but I've been here a long time, and I know that in most cases, when there's a financial cost, it's going to be the expat that's going to pay. It's not going to be the Colombian system or the Colombian person. Never. It's always going to be the expat. That's it for today. I apologize if you think I've been a little bit blunt, but I meant to be. As I said, you can do it yourself. but I think you're making a big mistake if you try in some of these areas. William Hutchison, I'm in Armenia, Colombia, and I live in paradise. You can too.